This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Okay, so I called it. He was only guilty on two things, which was the prostitution. That's the only thing you really could have got him on out of all those charges. But they had to find him guilty on something, because think about this. If he beat it, everything, I would want my money back. I would want my $10 million back, or $20 million I spent on legal fees. I would want that back. But anyways, they can't send him back to MDC now. Now, of course, certain people are coming out and reacting to this. Now, Rick Ross is silent because Rick Ross is proven to be a fake friend. He didn't make one peep the whole time Diddy was fighting his trial. And these guys were washing cars together. He was helping Rick Ross sell his car soap, his car shows. He was linking up with Ross. He even labeled Ross the new Biggie back in 2010. Bold. 2009, I would say, actually. Young Miami, silent, quiet. Now she's coming out and saying, you know, she put up a little thing of Justin Bieber doing the little chatters, you know, like with his hand. You know, I don't know what that means. Even 50 Cent had to come out and say, wow, Diddy beat the feds. That boy is a bad man. Beat the Rico. He's gay John Gotti. Boosie came out in support. He's always been pretty much in support of Diddy. Because, you know, even though Diddy's a nasty person, and he's guilty of a lot of things, but he's not guilty of a lot of the things they charged him with, you know? So, you know, like blackmail would have been an easy one. Why did they charge him with that? With the Cassie's mom situation, you know? Let's hear.
Man, I'm so glad Diddy free, bro. You know, the reason is because I'm tired of seeing us black moguls get took down like that, bro. Like, and I'm tired of seeing us black people go against us black moguls like that. And I feel like if Diddy was a white man who done all this shit for people, you know, I know he ain't paid people, but if he done all this shit for hip-hop, if he was white, they would have had so many white people out there protesting for this man losing his life behind a relationship, you know.
Hold on one sec. Now, here's the thing. I'm glad he's free, too, because of one thing. It shows that we still can have faith, a little bit of faith in the justice system. Because they didn't charge him with possession of drugs. They charged him as if he was a drug dealer. He's not a drug dealer, okay? They charged him as if he's trafficking women, and he's not. He did hire prostitutes, and he did fly prostitutes, and he's guilty of that. Is he guilty of a RICO? No, because you didn't even bring in KK and his co-conspirators that you keep mentioning during the trial. That was goofy, right? Is he guilty of blackmail? Yes, but you didn't charge him with it. He's guilty of a lot of things that you didn't charge him with, okay? And you couldn't prove the hard R with a lot of these assistants and everything. Think of the assistants today that came forward and went for Diddy. They're low-hanging fruit. They're easy to get revenge on. And I'm not saying Diddy's going to get revenge, but he's thinking about it, okay? Jane, 50 Cent's baby mom. Is that rent going to stop getting paid? Maybe, okay? Cassie's going to stay away from that, okay? He already paid her and everything. She's dangerous. Is he going to have a party for all his fake friends like Khaled and everybody? Let's see. And let's not forget with Boosie here. Boosie took out Diddy's name on Wipe Me Down. He took the name out. When he says, went to New York City, chill, P. Diddy, wipe me down. He took it out. Now he's loving this.
And people always, Boosie was on Diddy's side. Nah, it ain't that. It's because I'm thinking about 7 children. Y'all thinking about one person. I'm thinking about these 7 kids who been in my kid's position. Not knowing if your daddy gonna come home or not is a burden on the child. So all y'all was like, no, I'm thinking about them damn children, man. So, man, I'm glad he's free, bro, you know. Like I've been said, I don't feel he was guilty of nothing, you know, nothing but domestic violence, you know. But the court spoke, man, and man, I'm happy that dude children, man.
They didn't even charge him with domestic. That's the funny thing.
I know his feeling right now, right? I'm just happy for them children, man. So, you know, Diddy, sit your ass down somewhere. That's what you need to do. Grab Stevie J in your chair and get the fuck on.
Grab Stevie J? Why? Yo, bro. Boosie on some funny stuff. Grab Stevie J and your children and go? Whoa. Whoa. Pause, Boosie.
Man,
what else we got here? This is
all right.
Kodak Black's lawyer. He looks like Dana White.
Let's get a Diddy update. Diddy. I hate being right. That is the one thing that I hate being right. I have a toxic trait of that I hate being right. Yesterday, the day before, I made a prediction, and even at the beginning of this case, I made the prediction that the only thing I can see him being found guilty of is the Mann Act. Yesterday, I was on with the great Jesse from Law and Crime, and Jesse said he thinks that he's going to be found guilty of one of the traffickings, and the RICO was going to fall by the wayside, maybe hung on the RICO, and not guilty on the other trafficking and guilty of the Mann Acts. I said, no, sir, I have to disagree with you. I think he's only going to be found guilty of the Mann Acts. And
I can't believe that everyone was in my comments yesterday telling me, oh, you shouldn't be a lawyer, when a lawyer's saying the same thing I said. A lawyer is. One of the best lawyers. Kodak Black's lawyer, Lil Wayne's lawyer. Okay? Now, he stated here, he says, my toxic trait comes through again and sinks 3-pointers. Everyone's saying they will tag him on trafficking. Never. This was overcharged by a vindictive prosecutor. He should have been given bond. He should have been. If the judge is fair, he should be given bond today until sentencing. True. This case, it was a miscarriage of justice for all charges that was charged. This is a case that POTUS should consider for a pardon or commutation. He should get commutation. You know what? Because all this for this, you could have simply charged him with a couple things and you would have gotten 3 years out of Diddy. But you went for like federal RICO charges. I mean, overreach by the government. Overreach. And I wouldn't even say the government. One prosecutor. I can't even blame the whole government for this. For some reason, the person in New York wanted Diddy down. And you know what? I have my conspiracy theories in my head, but it doesn't matter. Should be considered for commutation. I agree. And then he says, now the prosecutor is fighting to keep him in pending sentencing. Disgusting. She should be fired. It's embarrassing for the office. Nasty stuff. I agree. Why? He's going to risk his life. You know? Risk his life to be in there? Not to mention Brady evidence, I'm sure wasn't overturned. Prosecution, Diddy. They took notes and decided not to put a single person on the stand. True. They didn't put KK on the stand or D-Rock, too. And they didn't put any positive things about Diddy. They played dirty. Okay. Well, anyways. If I was Diddy, I would probably reduce my real estate in the States. I would probably go to an island or something. I don't know. Maybe, you know, I don't know. Get a big piece of land. So I don't know. I don't know. I would isolate myself a little bit more. But you know what? Diddy's going to come back and he's going to pretend like nothing happened. All the fake people like Nori, Rick Ross, Khaled, all those people will be back around again. Mark my words. Mark my words. That's what's going to happen. Rick Ross, all those fake people. Anyways, this is Jordan Tower with JT News. I will check you guys the next one. Smash that like button for me. Peace.